Yo, what is going on, guys? Just wanted to jump on and get my training recap for the day. Yeah, I apologize for the late video. I had a late shower. I was chilling with my parents for a while, having dinner, and it kind of took up some time. And yeah, just been relaxing on my just been relaxing after work, after a long day of work. But now we are relaxing, but after work we are grinding, right? Still grinding. So, um, jumping right into it on the 4 hour time frame. Um, on the 4 hour time frame, you can see that pretty much what we had was a huge downwards move. We had a small correction here, and then what did we have? We had another move down, small correction, and another move down. So this all happened on the 4 hour time frame. Um, but in terms of PD arrays, we didn't really have anything besides this 4 hour gap. If price wanted to come back into that, we definitely would have to seen 5 minute, 15 minute bullish order flow for price to come back up into this 4 hour Faveli out there. We also had this 1 hour imbalance that was actually made on the structure down. So as you guys can see, that 4 hour we had a small, the 4 hour we had a huge move down, and then that 4 hour we had a small correction. So that correction looks like this on the 1 hour, and then again we had that move down on the 4 hour time frame, and now we were at the correction move, right? So the correction move could have actually came from this. It would have been even nicer if we did fill in this 1 hour gap. Just means that we're not kind of leaving anything behind within within this 4 hour gap here. I mean, sorry, this 1 hour gap here. But we can say that price did hit equilibrium within this hourly range. So again, all biases will go into short. 15-minute time frame. This is where I marked out some PD arrays to where I would have liked price to go. Sorry, really tired, but I'm gonna make this video. Yeah, you guys can see we actually we're actually pretty much just looking for any PD arrays that we can look for to actually go short, right? Because we take the trades in PD arrays, right? That's the goal. Um, that's where displacement comes out of. So what can I see? I can see that we have a bullish gap over here, right? And we also have a bearish gap being this gap here, right? So after making that move down, we have a correction, right? We then come up, fill in the hourly equilibrium between this high and this low. So I'll draw it out again for you guys, just so you guys don't get confused. So from this high to this low, and what is within that, right? We fill in equilibrium there. We start to get some moves down, right? But again, with this 50-minute, being in bullish order flow, what we want to see is bearish confluences, right? We want to see bullish order flow being disrespected, and we want to see bearish PD arrays holding, right? So we made a move up. Price actually came back, filled in this 15-minute gap to where price actually tried to continue up even higher. But sellers again took control here. We made a move down, right? We tapped into this 15-minute again, right? So now I'm thinking like, okay, cool. Now we have two PD arrays to trade from. We ideally hold this 15-minute gap, And since this gap is already mitigated, one thing that can reverse the trade is if we actually come out and take out these lows, these 50-minute lows down here. So these 50-minute lows, I was just like, okay, cool. This was the low. This was a low that was put in trying to make that higher high. So this low actually meant something. This is where a lot of displacement actually came from. This is where yeah, this displacement would have came from, and that pretty much was where my target was for the day. Um, so yeah, we get a tap back into the 15-minute gap. We also make a 15-minute bearish gap, and we're pretty much fighting in between those two gaps once again. But again, ideally, we actually hold this bearish structure because all time frames are bearish. The only thing I could see to the only thing I could really see was the fact that we come out, take these 50-minute lows, reverse, sweep these highs up here, and then get the real move back down. That's what I kind of wanted to see. That's why my targets were there. But again, I took the play based on the fact that we came out, took these 50-minute highs, we came back, re-sweeped those highs once again, and we get some displacement, market structure shift on the lower time frame, and we get a fair value gap, and we enter on the reaction out of that fair value gap, being a volumetric candle, engulfing candle, which is what we want to see. So, on the 5-minute time frame, confluences weren't really on the 5-minute time frame. We didn't really have anything. The 5-minute was quite choppy, but the 50-minute was perfect when it came to PD arrays. So yeah, again, 4-hour bearish, 1-hour bearish. We did have this 1-hour bearish fair value gap up here, but within this range, which is the range that we were dealing with from these highs to these lows, we filled an equilibrium, which was the confluence. We filled an equilibrium. We start to make some moves to the downside. We actually create a 50-minute bearish gap. And we also have an imposing bullish fair value gap up here. So pretty much what we're waiting for is a sweep of these highs, or sweep of some sort of highs in this 50-minute bearish gap, with intent to push down lower to show us that, hey, like, going short is the play, and we're actually not running up to these highs again, because we did leave these highs up here and paired that with a 1-hour fair value gap as well. So, it's something I actually considered when, taking the trade, that, hey, we might take out some of these lows, but again, we might reverse to actually come back and fill this 1-hour fair value gap just because of how close we were. But yeah, that brings us down to the 1-minute time frame. So, as you guys can see, that 15-minute bullish gap. We also had that 15-minute bearish gap here. As you guys can see, I actually got on the charts around like this bullish move up here, and we were able to capitalize on this move back down. So, yeah, let me get rid of this. I don't know what that is. But as you guys can see, we're fighting between those two gaps, right? The bullish gap starts to hold a little bit. Starts to hold a little bit. We then come out and take these highs, or even made equal highs, but I feel like we did sweep these highs. Though it wasn't a confident sweep where price could have moved up a little bit more before continuing down. But I did see this as a sweep. Just because we did fill orders here, right? And you could tell by the way that this second candle actually reacted that sellers were definitely in this area, or were interested at this highs, and was confirmed by this bearish candle. And this one bearish candle actually broke our structure, because what did we have? We had this whole move up. We had a move down, correction. We had a resweep of these highs. as well as this previous high up here, right? We then break structure, which is here. And with that displacement, right, we had a sweep and we had displacement. We also had a market structure shift. I was pretty much just waiting for a pullback into this fair value gap and pretty much just looking for a volumetric candle out of it, which is a nice clean move here. We get that volumetric candle, which is this black candle here. I enter, stops against these highs, and we are targeting those 50-minute lows, which I mentioned before. Yeah, we didn't get any struggle at all with this trade. We pretty much played out straight away. We did have these low resistance lows here, but I wasn't really worried about that. As if price were to target these lows, ideally we actually come out and take out these lows as well before, if we do want to reverse. So I did go break even after we took out these lows. We get nice displacement. We get that follow through to that 50-minute lows. And as you guys can see, London session just takes off. We had a small retracement London session. We get a resweep of these highs. We get displacement back down, and we just end up following the continuation of the trend to go short. So overall a great trade. Again, I'm just reacting to what the market's giving me, and yeah, we were able to capitalize on that move down. Following those recognition of patterns, right, and displacement, right, recognition of pattern and displacement is kind of where I'm heading to, and what's kind of making me feel more confident to take a trade when I see displacement. And that pattern of that sweep and a POI, we get that market structure shift, and then we enter, and yeah. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. A bit of a quick video, but yeah, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. My apologies for the late upload. I have no work tomorrow, and we're gonna celebrate. Oh, we're actually gonna go see my girl's little sister performance. She's performing for the Filipino group, so it'll be really cool to see that tomorrow. I'm really excited to go with my girl to go see her perform. Um, and yeah, I'm just glad that we were able to capitalize on the move today. But again, um, wouldn't be able to be in this headspace without God, without my girl. I actually want to thank God, for blessing me with such a beautiful girl that's with me on this journey, helping me keeping me motivated, telling me to keep going every single day. Though I get, frustrated sometimes. There's days I want to quit. There's days I want to cry. There's days I want to rip my hair out of my head, but she keeps me going. I vent to her all the time, and she keeps me going. So she is truly a blessing. And yeah, of course, I just want to thank God as well for keeping me on track, and keeping me going also. Um, you know, God is important to me. It's something I believe in, and it's he keeps me sane, right? He's whispering in my ear to keep going, keep going, keep trying. No matter the losses, stay consistent, and you will win with hard work, right? Nothing comes free in this world. And that's what we're putting in, the hard work. We're putting in those extra hours even after work. We're non-stop working, um, just to fulfill that dream of a better life and being financially free. I have so much goals and ambitions and things um, I want in this life. And yeah, I just want to thank God for, having me figure out a process to actually do this, right? Um, and to keep me going after, one or two, I think this is my third year now, of training. So yeah, so I want to thank my girl, thank God. Um, and yeah, again, my apologies for the late video. Um, probably won't be training tomorrow. I think I'll just wrap it up for the week. We are up more than 1% for the week, which is pretty good for what it is. So I might just call it a good week here, and see how we go on next week. So yeah, so tomorrow I probably won't be training. Um, just want to thank you guys so much for watching again. God bless. God is good, and I hope you guys have an amazing night or day wherever you guys are from. And I will see you guys next week in the next video, my next trade recap. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.